Hamas releasing 13 more Israelis and 4 more foreigners on Saturday, one day after 24 hostages were freed Friday. Those freed hostages leaving Gaza through the Rafah border crossing, then taken to Israeli hospitals to be reunited with their families. Among those released today, 9-year-old Emily Hand, Hila Rotem, whose mother is still being held by Hamas, and siblings Noam and Alma Or. But the two coming home to no parents. Their mother was killed on October 7th, and their father is still being held in Gaza. The 4 foreigners released Saturday were all Thai nationals. As part of the exchange, Israel releasing another 39 Palestinian prisoners. In northern Gaza, Palestinians crowding around trucks filled with much-needed food, drinking water, and medicine as those trucks arrived after several delays. Those deliveries part of the 4-day ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Hamas delayed Saturday's scheduled hostage release, claiming Israel had violated the terms of the truce deal, alleging the aid deliveries permitted by Israel fell short of what was promised. But eventually Hamas proceeded with the release following mediation by Qatar and Egypt. Meanwhile, Israel's top defense officials said Israeli forces will not leave the Gaza Strip until all of the hostages are returned to Israel. While visiting military commanders in the Gaza Strip, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant warning Hamas militants that any future truce talks would take place under fire. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News, New York.
And right now here locally, we're hearing from Jewish and Islamic leaders about Hamas's release of the first group of hostages under that deal with Israel. Our Steve King joins us in Palm Beach County with what the Council on American Islamic Relations and a local rabbi both say needs to happen now. Steve.
Both the Council on American Islamic Relations and Jewish organizations say the release of some Israeli hostages is a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done. The executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations says though Israel has released some Palestinian civilians from its prisons, all of them need to be freed.
There still remain hundreds of innocent Palestinian hostages and thousands of women and men innocent in Israeli prisons. And we need to do whatever we can as a people to make sure that not only are the Israeli hostages released, but also the Palestinian hostages are also released.
Jaber also says there needs to be a permanent ceasefire and not just a temporary pause in the fighting. In addition, he says the United States needs to do whatever it can to keep fighting on either side from escalating.
Although we're headed in the right direction, there needs to be much more done right now.
At Temple Beth El of Boca Raton, Rabbi Dan Levin says the release of 13 Israeli hostages is an important step, but it needs to go farther.
There was some sense of really mixed emotions. The fact that there are still more than 200 people who are in captivity. And the idea that there would be one more night that those people would have to remain in captivity, kidnapped, taken from their families and their homes in the midst of such utter horror, I think still rips at the heart and the soul.
To see more of the comments from CARE or Rabbi Levin or the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, you can visit our WPBF 25 News app. Reporting in Palm Beach County, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.